Guys, Sony finally did it. Yes, Sony finally did it. They finally found a way to stop the no disc, no buy movement. For the most part, gamers was kicking Sony back in for the best part of 3 weeks. They had a strong petition, gathering more than 300 signatures, and it seems like every day since then, Sony was getting bad news about gamers protesting their platform. We even saw Sony stock dropping at one point in time because of all the bad news. They even had to pull back their fighting stick because the amount of backlash Sony was getting in every post that they made, that it just became ridiculous. So much so that Sony was just like, you know how I knew it was bad for Sony? When I saw Pony Faithful telling Sony to take a back step. Yes, to believe the strongest ponies out there was telling Sony to reconsider what they were doing.
The PlayStation 2 created a level of arrogance that they couldn't see. They were heading down the wrong path with the PS2. They just couldn't see it, man. They just couldn't see the PlayStation 3 flopping.
He's out of line, but he's right.
They just couldn't see it. They couldn't see the PS3 not dominating. The guys had the nerve to say we worked two jobs, despite the community telling them that price is too high. That's ridiculous. We're not gonna pay $600 for Blu-ray. Oh yeah, you are. You're gonna love Blu-ray, movies, and they just wouldn't listen. And they launched it, and they learned and they got up. Sales were getting hammered. You see what I'm saying? Sony's got to realize. Listen, read the room.
What are you doing?
Nothing. Me? Just hanging around.
I understand you got metrics and all that stuff, but you better read the room. Because PlayStation 6 launches, you could get hammered.
Yo, I'm down bad, bro.
For me, I think delay the PlayStation 6, man. I'm telling you. Listen, I know people are going to talk about, oh, Sony can't do that, whatever. I'm just saying this. I think right now, the interest on the PlayStation 6 is low.
Yes, for the best part of 2 to 3 weeks, even the guys who would defend Sony for everything was telling Sony to take a step back.
Step of your master plan.
Crashing this plane.
What happened to you, Dylan? You used to be somebody I could trust.
Yes, it seemed like Sony for the past few weeks have been shooting themselves in the kneecap.
Greenlighting 12 live service games. Yeah. Gutting Bungie and shuttering Destiny 2. $200 console price hike. Investing millions in PSVR 2. I mean, that should have been obvious. Concord. But all of those pale in comparison to today's doozy of an announcement. Starting in January of 2028, we will no longer be producing physical discs for our games. All future games will only be available through the PlayStation storefront or at retailers in digital formats. Oh! God! Oh, that was right through the big toe. Oh!
Yeah! Damn!
So let's talk about what transpired and who is helping Sony to defeat the no disc, no buy movement. Yes, they are getting a lot of help. But before we start, guys, do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button as we make our way to 5,000 subscribers. So you know what? Let's get back to the video. We know everyone have their data about which is selling more. I don't think it's a debate. I know there are more persons buying digital games compared to physical games. But based on the Insomniac leaks, we saw there was a large amount of persons buying physical games compared to digital games for several PlayStation 5 games. So if this data is true that we would have gotten from the Insomniac leaks, there is an argument to say that here what? If there are persons buying physical media when it's available, then why get rid of it altogether? I mean, more options should be better, right? Well, this has just saved Sony. We have a statement from Matt Piscatilla jumping into the rescue of Sony, making this statement. He said this via Blue Sky. 2 PlayStation video games sold more than 10,000 physical units in the US during week ending July 11th, 2026. 7 have sold more than 100,000 physical units year to date. Source, Sakuna Retail Tracking Service. He went on to say, commenting is cool, use your voice and all that, but commenting is cheap. He says, I don't know. So yes, Matt Piscatilla is saying that Sony is right to go to an all-digital future. Let's listen to this article and see what more is said about what Matt is saying here.
PlayStation fans are still furious about physical discs, but the data proves Sony is right to kill them.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
While Sony has been getting positively crucified online for its controversial decision to end support of physical games on PlayStation by 2028.
I'm proud of you, you know that. I hope you do.
New data from Circana's senior director Matt Piscatilla shows just how hard it will be to get the company to reverse course. According to Piscatilla and Circana's retail tracking service, only 7 PlayStation games have sold more than 100,000 physical units so far this year. Meanwhile, only 2 PlayStation games sold more than 10,000 physical copies in the US during the week ending on July 11th. Piscatilla posted the stats in response to how comment sections for anything PlayStation related have been overrun with angry remarks about the company's pivot away from physical media, including Sony's upcoming Wolverine game. Commenting is cool, use your voice and all that, but commenting is cheap. Ick, he wrote in a follow-up post. Piscatilla also reposted previous Circana data showing the decline of consumer spending on physical games in the United States. According to the graph, spending on physical games over the tracked 20-year period peaked in 2009 at $11.5 billion before gradually plummeting to $1.6 billion over the last year. While it could certainly be argued that $1.6 billion is a lot of money, it seems the sales are quite split across different games, as indicated by Piscatilla's initial post. Since Sony announced its decision to stop making physical game discs for PlayStation starting in January 2028, many players are understandably furious. On top of the collector angle, Sony's pivot has been so poorly received because the current state of consumer rights around digital media is dismal. In most cases, purchasing a digital game on PlayStation and most other storefronts means the user is actually acquiring a temporary license to play the game that can be voided at the seller's discretion. Sony recently removed hundreds of films from the PlayStation Network store, including Terminator 2, after a contract dispute with the rights holder, meaning users who paid to buy these films could no longer access them. Others have pointed out how Sony has a PSN policy that allows the company to delete users' accounts after 36 months of inactivity. Storefronts for older game systems are inevitably shut down, which will make it impossible to download games you've already purchased. In response to this situation, PS5 emulation has accelerated quite quickly.
So there you have it. There you have it. Matt has basically said Sony made the right move financially. He didn't say anything about caring for gamers. You heard what he said? He said talk is cheap. And at the end of the day, Sony want to see all of that talk turn into money. Now, the question is this the full truth? Well, take a note of this. While Circana's raw physical numbers are accurate, industry comparisons showing digital sales making up 80 to 85% of the PlayStation market can be misleading. Those massive digital percentages include free-to-play, microtransactions, DLC, indie titles that only launch digitally, and heavily digital sale discounts. So at the end of the day, yes, but one have to ask themselves, the games that Matt stated there, how many of them came out both digital and physical? Is it that all the games that came out for PlayStation 5 this year also had an option to buy it physical? We need to ask these questions, because if it is we don't ask these questions, it's basically the stats is skewed. We also saw in that report that there are games that are counted as buying digital, as DLC, add-ons and so forth, and that quite frankly will skew the numbers and the stats. So at the end of the day, I believe in options. Gamers should be allowed to choose whether they want to purchase a game physically or purchase a game digitally. More options is better. Again, I don't think Sony should be saved here at any point, because Sony is still being anti-consumer. And guess what? These ponies, they still can't see that. They can't see it.
Oh, no, I ain't seen nothing. I ain't seen nothing. Matter of fact, I'm blind in my left eye and 43% blind in my right eye. I don't see much of nothing. Matter of fact, I can't even see you, sir.
So guys, let me hear what you think about the information today. Do you think that Sony's in the clear now? Do you think persons should stop criticizing Sony? Let me know in the comment sections below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.